Peace be with you. I wanted to make a video today to share something I have learned from the Quran, and that is how God describes our very nature. This is important to understand because we don't want this to describe us, so we have to fight against this nature, if you will, so we can become what God wants us to be. In the Quran, in chapter 17, verse 83, God says, "When we bestow a favor on man, he turns aside and behaves proudly. And when evil afflicts him, he is despairing." And that's all of us. This is exactly who we are. When things are going good, we just don't care about God. We're too busy, we're doing whatever. And then when things go bad, we are in despair. And God repeats the same characteristic in chapter 41, verse 41. God says, "And when we show favor to a man, he turns away and withdraws himself. And when evil afflicts him, he makes lengthy supplications," lengthy prayers, right? So this is what people do. When things are good, nobody cares. Everybody thinks they're doing just fine. But when things go bad, everybody's suddenly praying to God. Even atheists sometimes will pray to God. That's why they say there's no atheists in foxholes. So we have to understand that this is our nature. This is a pitfall that applies to everyone, and whoever is observant enough will notice that it does apply to everyone. This is why it's mentioned in the Quran. So God also repeats that in chapter 10, verse 12. God says, and when people experience hardship, they call out to us, whether they're laying down or sitting or standing. But when we remove the hardship from them, they go on as if they never called out to us on account of hardship that afflicted them. Thus that which they do is made fair seeming to the extravagant. Again, this is what we do. So God says, okay, so first God says, when I give you everything good, you don't care. You're proud, you're boastful, you go away from God. When bad things happen to you, you're in despair, you start praying, you're calling out to God, whether you're laying down or sitting or standing, and but when I take it away from you again, then again you're proud and boastful, and you just don't care. So this is a negative presentation, and this describes a negative characteristics of people. So we have to make sure that is not us. Then God gives us a little more information about how not to be like that. In chapter 11, verses 9 and 10, God says, "And when we make a man, insan, or a human being, taste mercy from us, and then take it away from him, he is despondent and ungrateful." He is despairing and ungrateful. "And when we make him taste a favor from us after hardship has afflicted him, he will certainly say, the evils are gone away from me, and he is proud and boastful, exulting and boastful. Except those who do good, except those who are patient and do good, these will have forgiveness and a great reward." So God describes the same situation again. When people, when God gives them good, then takes it away from them, they're in despair, just like what was described earlier. And then when he gives them good after their despair, they say, "Oh, it's all good now, I'm good now," and now all of a sudden they're proud again. But God says, except those who are patient and do good. So that's the key there. When bad things are happening to you, God tells you to be patient. When good things are happening to you, God says you have to do good. So this is what we have to focus on. Just kind of watch out, and identify our situation and then act accordingly. If we're going through a hardship, God says be patient. And if we're going through a good thing, if everything is easy, then God says do good. So give charity, do good things. And the last verse I wanted to mention is in chapter 70, verses 19 to 27. God says, again, addresses our very nature. Human being, insan, is created impatient, being greatly grieved when evil afflicts him, and stingy when good befalls him, except those who pray, and those in whose wealth there is a fixed portion for the one who begs and for the one who is denied, and those who accept the truth of judgment day, and those who are fearful of the punishment of their Lord. So again, God gives us our nature. This nature of ours is repeated several more times in the Quran, but for the sake of brevity, I won't mention all the verses. But it's always the same. We are impatient, we're greatly grieved when bad things happen to us, and stingy when good things happen to us. When we got things, we're stingy, we're selfish, and so on. And so God tells us, accept those who pray. So prayer is a means to an end. It helps us fight this very stingy nature of ours, and knowing that we're gonna, accepting the truth of Judgment Day, and not feeling secure from the punishment if we fail, also help us change this. So this is the nature of man that God informs us of and tells us how to fix it, and we're expected to fix it, because whoever stays like that is most certainly not, I can't say most certainly, but whoever stays like that is unlikely to enter heaven. All of us are like that. All of us are like that. So we have to take God's advice, and this is how we fix it. And this is jihad, and this is the struggle, what the word jihad means. So we have to keep at it, and we have to fix ourselves. Otherwise, eternity of pain is waiting for us. So that's all.